Rhett Lashley, what do the numbers say? Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, breaking down the game we love each and every day with you. We love your discussion in the live chats and your comments below. Please leave them concerning this subject of Rhett Lashley's effectiveness as an offensive coordinator in college football, now coming to Miami, of course, in 2020 in replacing Dan Enos. We're going to run down the numbers and would love to hear from you. Like the video, comment, of course, share the video out on social media, and, of course, subscribe here to Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, Miami channel. We're just going to run down the numbers and see basically what did Rhett Lashley offenses produce while he was at that particular school compared to how effective the offense was that he took over and how effective and productive were the offenses that he left once he left that particular program. Rhett Lashley was the offensive coordinator at Arkansas State in 2012. So with the Red Wolves there in 2012, Lashley produced an offense that was 23rd in the nation in total offense at 467 yards per game, 43rd passing, 23rd rushing. So pretty productive offense considering 130 teams in the FBS. And Arkansas State was number 26 in the nation in scoring at 35 points per game. Okay, what about the two offenses prior to Lashley's arrival at Arkansas State as offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach? Those two teams at Arkansas State in 2010 and 11 finished 42nd and 31st in the nation in scoring and 30 and 33 points per game. They were numbers 40 and 23, 23rd in the nation prior to Rhett Lashley in total offense at 403 and 448 in yardage per game. All right, so he pretty much kept it on par, didn't necessarily improve the offense, nor did the offense decline while he was there at Arkansas State. Okay, what happened to the Red Wolves after Lashley left? They became primarily a running team. Not that they weren't effective throwing, they just didn't throw it much. In 2013, they only scored 29 points per game, 68th in the nation. So they took a hit offensively in regards to scoring. They were 67th in total offense, 408 yards per game. But the next year, 2 years after Lashley, very productive offensively, 21st in the nation in total offense and 22nd in scoring at 36 points per game. So not a huge difference pre or post Rhett Lashley at Arkansas State. Let's move it on to Auburn. And this, of course, the most important and comparable position to what he owns in Miami in regards to the status of a particular program. This is one of the more interesting rides in college football history if you follow Auburn football. They won the national championship in 2010 with Cam Newton at quarterback. By 2012, has this ever happened in college football history? 2 years after winning a national championship, they were 0-8 in the SEC. They were the worst team in the SEC. They went 3-9. That was 1 year prior to Gus Malzahn and Rhett Lashley going to Auburn. And then in 2013, the greatest turnaround in college football history. Try to find another one. I've not been able to uncover a more dramatic turnaround in college football history than Auburn from 2012 to 2013. From 0-8 in the SEC to SEC champion, BCS title team that came within 7 seconds of winning a national championship. Jameis Winston with the touchdown pass to Kelvin Benjamin that knocked off Auburn in the final 7 seconds of the BCS championship game. So Rhett Lashley owned that offense. That offense was devastating, rushing the football with Nick Marshall at quarterback and, of course, Trey Mason at running back, who gained 195 yards at the Rose Bowl in the national championship game. In 2013, Auburn led the nation in rushing. Think about that for a second. Let that soak in. Against SEC defenses, number one. No SEC team will ever lead the nation in rushing. That just doesn't happen because they're playing SEC defenses every week. On top of that, who always leads the nation in rushing? The service academies, Army, Navy, Air Force, and previously Georgia Tech because they ran that triple option. Auburn was the nation's leading rushing team in 2013 at 328 rushing yards per game. They were 13th in scoring at 40 points per game. Again, against an SEC schedule, plus an SEC championship game, plus a BCS title game in which they scored 31 points against Florida State. Very impressive. All right, Lashley was there for 3 more seasons in 2014, 15, and 16. In those seasons, Auburn, the rushing totals started to dwindle. They were still very effective the next year with Nick Marshall again, 14th in the nation in rushing, 17th in total offense, 27th in scoring in 2014. So still a really good offense, but not quite as devastating. In 2015, they really took a hit. They fell to 92nd in the nation in total offense. They had issues at quarterback that year. They shuffled them back and forth. I remember that. 65th in scoring at 28 points per game. And then in Rhett Lashley's final year at Auburn, 43rd in scoring. Actually, that's 43rd in total offense. They were 6th in rushing in 2016. So they came back with some tremendous rushing stats there in 2016. Prior to Rhett Lashley's arrival at Auburn, again, this team went 0-8 in the SEC. They were disastrous on offense, as you might expect. 114th in the nation in points per game at 19 points per game, and 124th in total offense at 305 yards per game. So they went from the 124th offense in the nation, from number 124 to the number 1 rushing offense and a top 15 offense in college football, and from number 114 in points per game to number 13. And, of course, Nick Marshall had so much to do with that, and Gus Malzahn being an offensive-minded head coach as well. Now, once Lashley left in 2016, that 2017 Auburn team, one of the more interesting ones as well in recent college football history, beat 2 number 1 teams in the span of 3 weeks, Georgia and Alabama, but ended up losing the SEC championship game, which denied them from a college football playoff appearance, and that was following Lashley, of course, leaving in 16, and Auburn was the 26th rated offense in the country at 452 yards per game and 27th in scoring at 33 points per game, so certainly better than Lashley's final season there. Then you talk about a career dip, going from Auburn and coaching in SEC championship games and BCS title games to UConn. And UConn's been a mess since Randy Edsall's first stint there. Lashley probably just couldn't find another spot open, I would think, because his credentials should have earned him a job somewhere else. But UConn, in Lashley's one season there, they went 3-9. They were 103rd in the nation in scoring. They were 49th in total offense, which isn't too bad, actually, considering UConn. 49th in the nation in total offense. The year before Lashley got there, they were last in scoring. So they increased 27 spots with Lashley in scoring, and they were 123rd in total offense. So they increased by 74 spots in total offense with Lashley. Then the year he left in 2018, they regressed in scoring from 103rd to 110th, 7 spots, and in total offense from 49th to 91st, which is another 42 spots in total offense. They declined when Lashley left. All right, then he went to SMU. And, of course, that was the transition from Chad Morris to Sonny Dykes, and he stuck around there. So under Sonny Dykes, that SMU offense really took off with Lashley there. So the first year they weren't so hot at 54 in the nation in points, at 30 points per game, number 54 in the nation, number 81 in total offense. That first year, 387 yards per game. The next year, though, they took off. 9th in the nation in total offense, 7th in scoring at 42 points per game, and they've largely maintained that pace without Lashley this season. Again, Sonny Dykes, like Malzahn, a very offensive-minded coach with that type of resume, and they are 11th in the nation this year, SMU, in total offense and 23rd in scoring after only scoring 13 points last week against Cincinnati. All right, Rhett Lashley arrives at Miami, and this is the type of offense that he took over. We know about the tremendous skill position players at running back and wide receiver, the shoddy offensive line, and the, I won't be kind, I was going to say questionable quarterback play, the cruddy quarterback play over the past few seasons. So in 2018, Miami was 66th in scoring, 105th. Miami, 105th in total offense in 2018. In 2019, 90th in scoring and 98th in total offense. So the numbers have gone up considerably under Lashley and De'Ara King at quarterback, to be fair. 90th in scoring last year, 42nd this year. Total offense, 98th last year, 44th in total offense at 414 points per game. So they have improved roughly 45 to 50 spots in both scoring and total offense with Lashley and De'Ara King at quarterback and those two fine running backs, the freshmen Chaney and Knighton. So that's the rundown of Lashley's offense just from the numbers. What did he produce at Arkansas State, Auburn, UConn, and now Miami versus what did his predecessors produce and then his successors? Interesting look at Rhett Lashley and his performance at those particular schools. Would love to hear from you now. Smash that like button. Do me a favor. Got to smash the like button. And, of course, comment. Share the videos on social media. We need views. We need to build this. Catch the vision here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football.